In today's video, I'm sharing with you a free NFL Square spreadsheet that I've created in Excel. If you want to try it out, look for the link in the description for this video. It'll take you to a post that goes over how it works with links to two versions of the file, one with macros and one without. So let's go over how the spreadsheet works. So here I've selected two teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets, and I can change these in the drop-down selections here. So I can just select a different team if I wanted to. It'll update, the logo will populate, the name, all that. And so here I've entered the scores by quarter. So Q1, Q2, Q3, and then the final score. And there are options here to highlight the winners based on the first quarter, halftime, third quarter, and full time. So with the NFL Squares spreadsheet, what it's going to do is look at the last numbers, last digits in the score. So for Q1, Seattle had 1, Philadelphia had 9. So it looks at the combination of 1 and 9. So you can see player D was in that slot. So that was highlighted. So with the macro enabled version of this spreadsheet, there are these buttons here where we can clear the highlighting. We can highlight the winners if we wanted to. And there's an option to randomize the numbers. We can click this button and it'll regenerate both those sets of numbers, both for the home team and the away team. So if I don't like it, I can regenerate it again and it'll mix them up completely. So this prevents, having the same order in case you didn't want people to know what exact spots there, or what their different combinations are going to be. Now you could obviously just leave them and manually key them in, or use the default 1 through 9. But with the randomize option, you have the option to do that in here as well. Another thing you can do with the macro enabled version is you can fill in any remaining cells. So here I've got a list of the player names. I've got player A, player B, player C, player D, player E. And so let's say you do not want to fill up this entire sheet. You do not want to fill up every single possible cell on here because it can be very time consuming, obviously. So let's say we only filled up some of these cells. So I'm going to delete these ones, right? So we've got blanks. And so now you've assigned these cells, and now you want to fill in the remaining ones. So what the macro is going to do is it's going to allow you to do that as long as there are enough spots. So here I've got 5 players. So to make sure they're evenly distributed, there has to be a multiple of 5 in terms of the number of cells left. I can't have only 6 cells left or only 4 cells left, and I want to assign 5 players. It's not going to distribute it evenly. To make sure that it's fair and everybody gets at least one spot each turn, then it's going to prompt you to clear out more spaces or have fewer players. So if I click on the button to say fill remaining cells, you'll see it tells me it's not an even number of squares available. So 48 for 5 players. So obviously it needs to be a multiple of 5 in this case. So if I clear out 2 more spaces, let's say I'll delete these ones here. Now when I click on fill remaining cells, it's going to randomly assign these different players to these different cells. So that way, you'd have to go through the painstaking process of doing one by one. You could do it on the non-macro file. So if you prefer not to use macros and if you just want to enter in the player names yourself, then this template is available in the exact same sort of layout. The only difference is that these buttons will not be here. There's no option to highlight because you'll need macros in order for that to work. But if you want the macros, then use the macro enabled file, and then you can utilize these buttons, which will make it easy to fill in the cells, randomize the numbers, highlight winners, whatever the case you want to do. It gives you a lot more flexibility. Now, in the file that doesn't contain macros, you'll still have the option for the drop downs, and everything else will still work the same. It's just a more manual process where you're gonna have to enter in all the cells and all the values in there. So that's how this spreadsheet works. Feel free to try it out and let me know what you think of it in the comments. And if you liked it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.